So, right?
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
You're tuned in to the Holochronicles.
Joshua,
What's up, Andy?
hey, it's been a while since we've had a pod where it's just you and me. We're doing it like we used to do it. It's been like a month.
It feels like even more than that. Yeah.
It's probably been a little bit more than that. We did have an award show recently, which was pretty stupendous.
It was. I think you called it even last week when you were texting like, hey, let's get a pod together. You were like, you still have a Holo Award show hangover?
Lots of champagne that night.
I do. That was so much fun, though.
That was a ton of fun. And if you haven't checked that out, go watch it on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Josh put in a lot of time on the editing. And
well, we all did. I mean, you put a lot of time in on the categories and talking about that. I mean, yeah, from an hour perspective, I may have had a few more when it came to the editing.
A few more man hours.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
It's all a creative effort. But, man, sure. Man, that was a good time. That was a good day. So thank you.
It was a good day. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, boy. What do we need to talk about first? Josh, are you healthy?
I'm healthy enough.
Okay.
I mean, we are in the epicenter of the
coronavirus pandemic in the United States.
Unique time, huh?
Interesting. Weird. Everything's weird. New territory for sure. Hasn't been anything like this in the Northwest since Mount St. Helens blew.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
we're talking about a little bit as far as but not Northwest.
Right. That was a national thing. Northwest was Mount St. Helens, but we were like 3-4 years old when that happened.
We were.
I remember wearing dust masks because there was ash everywhere, but
I was up north
and a lot of street sweepers.
Yeah, I think where we live now, you and I mean, Mount St. Helens, you can see if you go upstairs.
Yeah.
You can see I would have had a nice view of the peak of Mount St. Helens had it not exploded. But here it was closer where I lived, up north, closer to Seattle. I just remember very vaguely as a small kid scraping ash off the railing on the deck into a jar.
Yeah. Do you still have the jar? Because my parents have a jar of ash.
I'm sure you do. My parents do not. I think they sold it for alcohol and whatever.
You raised parents. Yeah, you have that in common.
Yeah. Junk traders.
Well, interesting times, like you said, but there's still some Star Wars stuff going on. The Emerald City Comic-Con got postponed. It was supposed to be held in Seattle this last weekend, but they still did the VirtueCon, where they still handed out some of the they drew numbers for the people that had tickets and lottery. Thank you. And then there were some pops that became available. There were 3, I believe: the Sean Kemp Supersonics basketball pop, a white Dr. Doom pop,
defunct Supersonics.
just a knife in the back. All Sonic fans and still bringing it up.
Well, they wouldn't be playing now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Also true. And then one that we both were able to get was the Boba Fett. It was the miniature version of the 10-inch one that came out earlier.
Yeah, but not red, right? Because the 10-inch one was red.
Well, there were two. There was a red with black and a black with red, and this was the regular size version, black with the red stripes.
So I'm not like as deep into the funk hole as you are. I have partaken, and it was fun. I thought.
So you're done?
No, I'm not done.
Okay.
I'm falling.
So you're still falling.
I'm still falling. But I will say that I found it interesting that the last Boba Fett we got was also number 297, and then this one is 297. So,
because I believe that's the same mold.
Okay,
but it's a different.
That's what I'm saying.
Paint scheme.
I don't understand that from Funko, so I guess that's.
I've never actually asked. That's a good question.
That's a good question for Matt, right? So.
Matt Norris.
Yeah, Norris.
At Pop Vinyls.
Pop Vinyls, yeah. So why do they do that? But obviously, probably a simple answer as far as same mold or different paint scheme. But why would it be like 297 A, B, C, and then
too weird to put on a box.
I did think that when I was in Target at 8 a.m. 7:45, and I was like, It's just so damn easy to collect. I mean, it's so collectible.
Yeah.
This is like
They fit on the shelf real nice.
Yeah.
If you keep them in the box, they stack easy.
Don't keep them in the box. Matt Norris taught us that.
Yeah.
It's like they pull right out, they go back in, unless you get a real picky collector.
Yeah.
No one's going to care. You get the box in the same shape as when you picked it up. So
Pretty much.
I like that.
All right, Josh. Well, we're getting into some news a little bit, so let's hit the drop.
Okay.
Star Wars news.
As we mentioned, some toys have come out recently, and even within the last month since we've last potted, there's a Lego set that I'm particularly excited for, and that's the Mandalorian Razor's Crest Lego set. That looks to be pretty cool.
Anything Mando.
Anything Mando's pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
What else? You'd mentioned something else that came out Mandalorian related.
Sideshows, life size. The Child is pretty cool. Pre-order. I think that's gonna hit. What they say, August
Yeah,
or October. I can't remember, but one of those Oz.
in a bit.
In a
Still in a
bit.
bit.
Don't worry, you'll still love him when he shows up.
Right about the time when season 2 starts, I would imagine, right?
Right.
So that's probably intentional.
Yeah.
I got my first sideshow yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Yesterday.
You did. That was pretty cool. I just saw the picture.
Yeah, it's a Darth Maul.
Yeah, did you send that to me? I could throw it up if you did. Just text it. If you
I
get a
did.
chance.
I did. I sent it to you. I
Okay.
sent it to you. If you got
Yeah, there he
it,
is.
throw it
Yeah, I'll throw him up.
up. Yeah, I haven't dipped my toes in the sideshow collectible waters, and I did. I had a bunch of store credit built up at this toy shop in Vancouver, Washington, called Toy Box Heroes. Pretty cool little shop for all vintage toy needs.
Yeah.
But he had some sideshow collectibles in there, and I got the Darth Maul. It's
You
pretty cool.
decided to splurge
Yeah.
on a sideshow. I mean, you can't go wrong with sideshows.
No,
And that's-
Maul's a favorite of mine anyway,
Right.
and I mean there were some other ones there, but he was just so dang intense looking. The face. I mean, what really sold it for me was the face, the eyes. It looks like Ray Park.
Yeah. No,
So-
they did a great job. Obviously, they always do. That's why I'm pretty excited about the Child. He looks fantastic. Sorry, man. I'm trying to get it up, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna.
Okay. Well, we'll post
If you're
it.
listening or watching on the, yeah, I can throw it up right now. We'll see if that works. It's not gonna be pretty, but I'll show it to you guys because he's pretty cool looking.
There's a. Remember when Target had their retro line of figures?
Right.
Oh yeah, there he is. That's
There it
nice.
is. Beautiful. Look at those eyes, though. That's what's so cool about it is they do such a great job on those little details.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fantastic.
totally awesome. Target had a retro line of 6 figures come out last year, and he had some little mall shelf. But they're coming out with 6 more, but from the Empire Strikes Back line. Because I don't know if you know this, Josh, but 2020 is the 40th anniversary of
Sure.
Empire Strikes Back, so there's gonna be an influx of ESB related toys and merch. But they're going to do 6 figures from Empire Strikes Back on the retro line that look. I mean, they look retro, but they're brand
Is that
new.
the same as that's the same as what we went after for the first 12. That's gonna be fun though. We had a good time doing that.
Yeah, we hit stores.
I mean, it was just fun. I don't think anybody cared as much as we did. And then, of course, you did a great job. We shared with some people out there that weren't.
We networked.
We networked. I think that's when we really hooked old Matt from Enid.
Well, I remember I got a few off to another Matt. We have a lot of Mats in our
We do.
follows.
It appears that Matt's really likes Star Wars.
And seem to like us. So. But another Matt at True Green Arrow, we've posted his collection before. I think we got some figures to him, and yeah, we got a bunch and we distributed them out to people that were having a tough time finding them. That was pretty fun, and we get to do it again. So with some Empire Strikes Back, there's a Boba,
Right.
there's a Yoda, Hoth Han.
There's a Boba. That means there's going to be people in the stores
Yeah.
Boba brings all the boys to the yard. Yeah, no, Boba will bring some people out, whereas I think, remember last year, Father's Day, they put the retro figures in Target on this Father's Day kiosk that had like, world's greatest dad shirts and mugs and beard trimmers. And then on the back of it was supposed to go these retro figures. Of course, you and I, the first day, were able to head off the stock boy or gal. She wasn't very happy with us.
No.
And she was kind of mean. So there's a collector, there's an opposite collector tip. I don't know what you call it, anti-collector tip, where no matter how nice you are to the stock boy or girl, they may just be in a bad mood.
Also true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get to do that again. I'm excited about that. There's a what is it? A Black Series snow speeder coming out. That,
I mean, come on.
that is gonna be sweet. I can't wait for you to get it, Josh.
Yeah, I
can't wait for you to get it.
2. Can't wait for me to get 2.
Yeah.
Keep it in the box.
Yeah. Or keep it in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's. Oh, and no, I said it already. Most recently, and this was just this weekend, but on iTunes, The Rise of Skywalker came out.
Yep, they're talking about it in the chat right now. So let's say hi to a couple of our fellow. We got some cool people. We got Matt from Enid's in, of course, and 2 Meds here.
Yeah, Gilster, Rez
here. Rez is here.
Christina.
Rez was first in.
Christina's here.
Scuttlebutt's here.
Rook.
Check out their pod.
Keep your trap shut, Rook.
Check out all their pods. I think these are just So one of them brought that up. Rise is out. I have it. I own it. I'm pointing because my TV right there contains it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Haven't watched it yet. I was trying to get the girls together to watch it. They loved it in the theater. I have only seen it once, and that was on premiere night. I know you went back once or twice.
I went back one other time.
Okay.
So I've seen it twice.
And I intentionally did that because I kind of wanted to remember that, because it was a really great experience. That whole night,
that was a fun night.
We were part of a bigger picture when it came to watching the movie. There was also a BMBer of ours. Rents out a theater. It's pretty cool. And he puts all his money, all the proceeds towards the women's shelter.
Women's shelter, community house.
Yeah.
Battered women's shelter.
Yeah. So that's an opportunity for Andy and I to bring we brought some of our stuff there. We brought a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think we each bought a row.
That was
theater.
pretty awesome.
And then, doled it out, sold them off to people. And then I brought my Stormtrooper. I think we talked about that. But it's just a really great experience. So I really wanted to lock that in as my Rise of Skywalker
memory.
Final, memory. And then, of course, share with my family while we were there. And they all loved it. And here we are. I'm going to watch it again with them or by myself. So how are you going to watch it?
How?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it in the man cave.
I'm
going to watch it with the volume way up. If any of my family wants to join me, they can.
Right.
But I don't know. The last couple days, I've seen a lot of Frozen 2 lately. So I think it's maybe time for a little Andy
It's
time.
time to let it go. I mean, you throw them up, I'll hit them out.
Yeah, I suppose I did. Teed it right up there for you.
No, what I meant was, like, are you going to watch it with any strategy? So the reason I say that.
Oh, am I looking for anything in particular? That?
No, I mean, as far as connecting the dots, I mean, this is the first time, right? We spent a lot of time speculating about what was going to happen, how it was going to happen with Rise.
Mm-hmm.
We did a lot of tiebacks to Force Awakens and Last Jedi, right? So we did all that stuff, and then it all got shot out the window, so to speak, unceremoniously. And so here we are, and now it's like, okay, well, now that we know where the dots connect, do you want to go back and do like this is? I'm asking you because I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it.
Okay.
Do you want to go back and do a Last Jedi run up and see if you feel good about it back to back, or because of Or would it be better to watch Force Awakens back to back with Rise of Skywalker and skip Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Because sorry, I want to hear your answer because I just want to throw this out there before you go. Didn't we talk about like, okay, either Last Jedi is going to be the empire of this sequel trilogy, or it's going to be completely irrelevant, or it's going to be a little of both. And I don't know where we're at here.
Well, I'll tell you, the second time I saw it, which was probably a couple weeks later from when it released, I did watch The Last Jedi
Okay, so
before.
you've done this.
So I watched it before
The Rise of saying he did too.
The Rise of Skywalker, and here's my take on that, Josh, and I don't want it to taint your.
It's totally going to taint it.
But I think as different of a movie The Last Jedi was from the JJ movies, there was still a lot of connective tissue.
Okay.
And it's not you don't have to separate it from the other two. It may not everything may flow linearly.
Okay.
But there's, like I said, there's enough there connecting the Force Awakens to the Rise of Skywalker in it that I think we can leave it as the middle one for the sequels. We can leave it in there. We don't have to take it out. It's just a different eye on the Star Wars story, a different story that was told, different way the story was told.
Yeah.
But there's still parts of it that the Rise of Skywalker builds off of that weren't in the Force Awakens. So you kind of need it in there. I think you got to leave it in there still. It's a sequel to 9 is a sequel to 8, which built off of 7.
And I guess that's what I'm asking.
People would argue against that.
No, everyone will argue against anything. But,
sure.
Yeah.
But
I'm just kind of saying that, like you and I, who obviously, you know, we declare ourselves as positive Star Wars fans, Star Wars pod. You know, I was vocal about, look, I had issues with Rise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I had issues. You know, I went in thinking like, oh, it could have been this, but are we on an accelerated pace for prequel love for, you know, Last Jedi? That's where I'm at. I'm like, all of a sudden, am I going to go back and be like, I haven't watched Last Jedi in its entirety ever. I've watched a lot of times parts of it.
Yeah.
I skipped the, you know, and it could just be my own adopted bias from other people's commentary, those kind of things.
Sure.
That made me say, yeah, I don't want to watch the casino scene or whatever. I guess I'm just kind of throwing it out there. And those of you that are listening or watching, you know, that's the question I have is like, how should I go about watching, you know, Rise of Skywalker, since I have the luxury of deciding how, because I haven't done it yet. I didn't hit play right away. As a matter of fact, I kind of had like I want to watch it on this TV, but how do I do it? You know, I got to move some gear around to get it done. That was just my question. And thank you for answering. You're saying that it does belong there.
Yeah, I'm saying that there is enough there that you don't have to. I mean, if you just wanted to go Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, I think I haven't done that, but I think it would probably be fine. But what I chose to do was see how much there was tie-in between 8 and 9, and I thought that there was enough that it's a worthwhile venture.
I wonder if that's because we had a Scarif put up there. Interesting concept, prequel love syndrome. Right? I mean, there was
original prequel hate syndrome.
Prequel hate, yeah.
You know, like
so
too CGI, underdeveloped love story between Padme and
too much, you know, politics in.
Yeah.
Here's a funny sidebar because I did want to bring this up, and since I'm remembering now, let's do it now. I'm trying to plow through these Clone Wars, all right? Because I really want
the cartoons.
Yeah. I really want, because I feel so out of it and so like ashamed that I'm so far behind. I'm literally in season 2, and so I'm throwing up one of the videos, and I'm just doing, you know, I'm in the kitchen, I'm doing some stuff, and it's a full Senate, you know, battle in the Senate over Mandalore, and my kid walks in who's 12, and she's sitting down, she's eating a little food I cook for her, she's watching, and she finally turns to me and goes, Cool show, Dad. They're literally having like a political debate in animated form. And she just, and I go, you know, you're right, kid. I said, I said, I'm just trying to get through this. And, you know, she's the one I can talk to and just won't say nerd. She's just like, because she tried, and then she's just like, cool show, Dad. And I'm like, yeah. I hear it gets better.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. So you're right. And I just hit fast forward a little bit, didn't miss much. And, you know, of course, there's a little action at the end. But that's what the prequels were. They were a story, but not a very interesting one.
Right. There were parts to it.
Right.
Yeah. And the Clone Wars, there's enough episodes where you're no doubt going to have better ones than others. Some are more interesting than others, and you know, to each his own and what you find interesting. But yeah, the introduction of trade disputes and bogging down political activism and it doesn't sound interesting when you try and explain it through that lens.
It doesn't.
Just get me to the Jedis and the spaceships and the fighting and the.
Well, it's like they took the scroll and then kept going in the actual video.
Yeah. Right. We got off on a.
Sorry.
No. Okay. So
we haven't talked in a while.
Yeah. So the movie's out. People are consuming it. Seeing a lot of discussion about the behind the scenes, and I haven't gone down that yet. So I don't want to talk about it too much.
No, and I haven't either.
So
I don't even know if the version I purchased digitally has any of that extra stuff. I watched some featurettes, but it was mostly monsters or droids or whatever. So
I haven't purchased it yet. I'm going to buy the hard copy.
I saw your
because the hard copy will come with a digital.
What's it called? The shiny box is what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean,
you also have vinyl too, right?
I do.
Yeah, okay.
No, I've got a spot for it. I've got a spot for it in my DVD collection. It's like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to get 9.
Of course you do.
I have to.
I have it in my digital collection.
Yeah,
it's
right
right there.
Cool.
It's perfectly lined up.
Yeah, awesome.
I just type Star Wars in the search and
it's right there.
Rogue One and
Solo
and any other.
Cool.
I hear you. No, I appreciate that because, like you said, I loved your comment on Twitter. It's like, what if an EMP happens? And it's like, well, your DVD player is going to be fried too. But yeah, I get it. I mean, you can take it with you in your backpack on the way out.
Yeah, I can. It's right here. It's right here. I've got an interesting proposition here that I want to try, Josh.
Okay.
I want to make a phone call here and call somebody in.
FG, you can't leave yet. We got to see if we can. Now, look, I did want to make one statement. It's like, thank you to. Can I do this before you do it?
Do it.
Just a quick 30 seconds. Thank you to all the podcasters out there, quick counting, to all the streamers. I mean, some of them are in the room. We already called them out. We've got some extra pods in the room that aren't even about Star Wars. Look, there is a ton of effort that goes into creating the pod and the technical side of stuff. I mean, what do we spend 2 hours here just getting set up because we just really don't have everything fine-tuned and it's still not even perfect or right. Cameras are in a different spot. It's not focusing on Andy. I mean, it's just like, it's crazy.
You got glare on my 5 head.
Well, yeah, wear a hat. I got a 12 head, but thank you to all the podders out there that put the effort in. I'm just amazed. Nobody's getting paid for this. As a matter of fact, everyone's losing money.
Everyone
in these difficult times. We're still podding.
We're still podding. In fact, in these difficult times, you're going to see a spike in podcast episodes, I believe. and as I said earlier, you're going to see a spike in births around December and January. As a result.
Corona babies.
Corona lights.
Yeah, Corona lights. So that all being said, the technical side of things, we are going to attempt to incorporate a phone call into this pod.
Hey, quick shout out to Force Ghost. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Force Ghost. He's over here. You can't see him. He's
off
a ghost.
Screen. He's
a ghost. But Force Ghost is now going to help us incorporate a phone call.
All right.
Ready, go.
Let's see if he's here, first of all. Because he doesn't know exactly what's happening.
Oh,
we're ringing.
Sounds very old-timey ringy. That's cool.
This is my buddy Phil.
Okay.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Phil, it's Andy. How are you?
Hey, good. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. We
You're
got
on.
you. You're on the podcast at the moment. You're being recorded out to tens of people.
Tens of 20s.
All right, a little
Thank you for
backstory.
warning.
Yeah, a little backstory here. This is my buddy Phil. We went to school together. He's a year ahead of me. I went to school with his brother too. He's a year behind me. And he is a Star Wars fan from his youth, much like all of us are. And Ryan, his brother, bought something from me that he gave to Phil for Christmas. And Phil, what was that gift?
It was the Ewok Village
Nice.
from, I think, the same one as what must have been my 7th birthday, I think it was.
So that was around 1983, 1984. So you would have been, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And all Ryan told me was that that when you got it when you were younger, it was one of your favorite toys.
It was.
And so how was it getting it again? What was that like when you opened it up? Walk me through that.
I almost died, actually, because it was during one of our moves, probably 5 or 6 years ago. I got rid of it thinking, it was before I had my son, actually. So I got rid of it like, I don't have time to carry this around and whatever. And it was kind of a sad day to get rid of it. And so I got rid of it. And then a couple of years ago, I'm digging through other boxes through another move, and I found my Wicket, my little Ewok.
Nice.
And I was super bummed because I didn't have my Ewok Village anymore. And so anyway, so Christmas comes and our dog, we got a little Shih Tzu that looks like Wicket, and so that's kind of the joke in our house. And I'd wished that I'd had my Ewok Village. And so Christmas comes, I get this big bag or box to open up, and there it was, the Ewok Village, and it even had all the parts.
Yeah.
What I had, it was awesome.
So did Ryan know that it was something that or was this just happened to be coincidental and he just remembered that you liked it from when you were a kid, or did he know that you were still kind of kicking yourself for getting rid of it?
I don't know that he knew I was kicking myself, but he knew it was my favorite. That was probably one of my favorite gifts I ever got as a kid. Christmas morning coming out to Ewok Village all put together. So yeah, he said, I thought you might like it. I knew that was your favorite gift, and I kind of told him a little bit about, the story about how I got rid of mine, and then it's really cool because my nephew, who's super into, he's 4 years old now, super into Star Wars. He came Christmas night, Big Eve. We come home, and I kind of set it over to the side, and his name Dude comes over, and he's like, he knew exactly what it was. 4 years old, because he's a super fan, Star Wars fan. So he immediately started playing with it when we got home that night late. It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Do you think this will lead you to get some more of the old ones, just kind of build up your old collection nowadays?
I think it might. It's after get it, I was like, this is kind of cool. Yeah.
Andy's finding another mark.
Well, hey, if you need help locating anything, you just let me know.
Yeah.
Actually, I do a lot of offer-up business in Tacoma or in Olympia, so I'm up there a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll have to. Now I know a guy.
No, you know 2 guys now. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
ABC, always be selling. That's Andy. All right, Phil. Well,
I appreciate you chatting with us real quick. That's a cool story. We both get a lot of enjoyment out of Star Wars and talking about our old toys too. So I appreciate you, Phil. Hope to see you soon, buddy. Stay safe.
All right. Thanks, Andy. You gotta take care.
Thanks, Phil.
Bye.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a cool story, though.
Yeah. When Ryan told me that's why he was buying the Ewok set from me, I was like, oh yeah,
That's a good brother.
Yeah. A, good brother.
Yeah.
B, pumped for Phil.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
All right, well, check that off the list. Hey, we can make phone calls. ABC.
We did it.
Hey.
always be closing is what it really is.
Right.
Yes. Always be selling is ABS.
ABS.
Right. I don't know. Abs.
Abs. Well, that's the kind of material you use in your 3D printer, right?
Sure.
Okay.
From time to time. PLS.
Collector tip.
Okay. Our collector tip is not a new one.
No, it's actually it's a worked over one.
It's
an award winning.
It's an award-winning collector tip. If you saw the award show, this won People's Choice Award for Best Collector's Tip, and it was be mindful of why people sell. And the reason why we're bringing it up today is because of the day we live in.
Right.
It's an unusual time. It's stressful for a lot of people. And that's because with things shut down, like schools, like sports arenas, like any large companies that have many employees, they're telling them to stay at home or work from home, or or things are just on pause for a time. There are going to be some people that financially are going to need to scrape some money together, and one way they're going to do that is by, unfortunately, selling off things that they're sentimental about, like their Star Wars toys. And there are those that would take advantage of the situation to the point where they're, really trying to max to the unfortunate loss of the seller. And we just want to remind everybody that, you're going to see as things continue to stay on shutdown or on pause for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or beyond, that just understand that there's going to be people, and as this goes on more and more, you're going to see people selling things that they really don't want to sell just because they have to meet their bills, the rent's due, the electrical bills due, phone bills due, and just to be kind about it, be aware of it, and maybe not try and rake them over the coals, because I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's good. The opposite of it is that you're also helping somebody out. It could be unfortunate that they are unloading, something they'd rather keep, but it could also be a little bit of like, hey, this part of my collection is expendable, right?
Right.
I mean, you have some, and I know I have some absolutes, like those aren't going anywhere. I'll keep those. And,
right.
And they're not worth as much as I would get out of them, to anyone else.
Right. Sentimental value is a lot higher than that.
Oh, way higher. And the money that you gained wouldn't help you as much as just keeping them helps you mentally, right? So there's that too. And I really like your take on this particular tip, because I think it's multifaceted when it comes to, this is a different time. There's always going to be somebody that needs an extra buck that's selling part of their collection that isn't that important to them.
Right.
But this might be a time where somebody's selling part of their collection that they'd rather not,
or a lot of people selling things.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's always going to be somebody who's, unfortunately maybe going through a divorce and they have to unload some things like that. Those things happen, and they have happened. And again, you should be mindful then as well. But I have a feeling that in the upcoming weeks, there's going to be a lot. Or more than usual. And so I'm going to throw out a suggestion here, Josh, and maybe you tell me. So maybe try and act more like a pawn shop than a collector for maybe the next few weeks. In that, if you know you're buying something from somebody who's reluctantly selling because they're out of work for a time because their business is shut down, I think of small businesses, they're really going to be hurt by this because people aren't going to be going into the stores, or maybe they don't have an online presence, or whatever the case may be, and they're putting up things for sale that they wish they weren't having to sell. They weren't ready to part with them yet. They were prematurely getting rid of them. I would maybe throw out this idea, and if you're willing to do it, go for it. See what happens. But say, hey, look, you got these for sale. I'm interested in them. I'll buy them. And if you're selling these because right now jobs are on hold and whatever, in a few months, once things maybe start to open back up, if you want to buy them back from me, I'll let you.
It's a pretty interesting concept there.
Because
what's your markup? What's your premium?
The markup. I say if you're doing this, it's because you're benevolent anyway, and you don't take a markup.
I'm joking.
But are you?
That's nice of you. No, I'm not joking. I mean, I am.
But you're a businessman.
Nah,
because you're a business man.
But that's a good concept.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think
that it completely speaks to the type of collector you are. Okay, you'd rather share than take, right? And I actually agree wholeheartedly with that. Like you would rather, like you just had a guy on the phone who you sold, even though you sold it.
Yeah.
That wasn't the value wasn't your enjoyment.
I made him a deal.
Yeah, exactly. Well, of course you did. And then really, you got the better part of that because you're happy about it. You were like, yeah, that was awesome.
Made me feel good.
I mean, that's why we give gifts on any occasion, right?
Yeah.
So I like that concept. I'm okay with that. You can start your own little pawn business. You just got, I don't know, you're going to have to quarantine it or at least put little orange tags on them in your collection.
Just that one's keep them in the Ziplocs, please.
That one's here for just a little while.
Yeah. Put a toe tag on them.
I'll take the torpedo firing or the rocket firing boba on just, I'll just keep it for a while.
Yeah. You
charge admission, $40K. Is that it? I'll give him 20. Give him 20 up front.
Yeah.
If you want it back, just call me. You got 90 days. That's mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
All right. Well, good one.
Let's think about it. I don't know. I feel I can't help but already feel bad about, there's people who are really stressed out about it.
Well, and I would say I agree, but also let's give it a week or two,
Yeah.
We live in that
definitely
quick environment right now.
Definitely. I mean, our schools are out for 6 weeks. So
6 weeks.
So once April 1st comes rolling around and bills start coming due, I don't know. I'd keep an eye out.
Yeah.
You might be able to find some good deals on some things. As a collector, you can't help. I know. You can't help but think it's like,
Andy's pawn shop is now in business.
it's like, oh, okay, well.
No, that's a good point, though. But also, like you said, don't gouge.
Yeah.
Be fair.
Totally be fair. If you're going to do it,
be mindful.
Be mindful. Be mindful. Circle back. Thank you, Josh.
We can just use the same collector tip every week
and
just twist it to whatever
find another
emergency is going on.
Find another reason to use it.
Show me your collection.
All right. If you have a collection, great or small, that you would like us to feature some weekend, then hit us up on our direct messages on Twitter or email us at holochronicles@gmail.com. Send us up to 8 pictures, and we'd love to feature what you got, even if it's just a little shelf of things or if it's an entire room of things. We are not, well, in the words of Yoda, size matters not.
Got it.
And we'll feature it no matter what.
Yeah.
Anyway,
at Holochronicles, #show me your collection, right?
Yep. #show me your collection. There's 2 that we've posted since our last.
I've got one right now. I'm going to throw it up for you to take a look at. So, see that?
Yes.
Part of one right there.
So we posted this up yesterday. It's still pretty fresh on our timeline if you want to go look at our Twitter page. But this is from @ClownBaby. And we've actually featured some of his stuff before. This is his second go with us. And he's got some new stuff. He's got a really strong Black Series.
Yeah.
In his collection, and he's got some vintage stuff too. There we see the bounty hunters.
Sorry.
But no, that's good. But he's definitely a Black
Series
guy, that's for sure, including the helmet.
I like his. Here's what I got, because you and I was actually talking to you about like, hey, this is what I'm going to do with my room. I kind of like that you got this like, what did I call it? Kind of a showcase. Like,
yeah,
it's not fully connected, everything you see in this picture, but it is connected. That's all Empire stuff, right? Is that what we're looking at? I mean, the helmet. It doesn't matter. It's all
the Wampa.
No, that's not Empire. I'm sorry, that'd be Jedi. But you get the Wampa, and that's cool. It's just like if I looked at that little, display, I'd be like, yeah, I like that. Everything I see there, it makes me happy. Yeah, like that right there. That's cool. So anyway, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So that's at Clown Baby. If you want to see more of his stuff, just hit him up. I'm sure he'd love to share it with you.
And thanks for sharing, everyone. I mean, I like it. I go through. I'm the silent one on Twitter. I kind of lurk. I'm the lurker. Andy's always like, "Hey, did you see that direct?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I read it all. I just never commented on it."
Just perusing.
You know, when I'm talking to you, because I always finish with like a hash, -J.
-J. Yeah. There's another one that we did a few weeks ago, and this was a local to us collector. His name is Matt. Another Matt.
They're all Matt.
But I've known Matt since grade school and had no idea that he was into Legos in the way that he is. Matt buys and sells minifigures. It's a side business for him, and I had no idea. Like he's got a job, right? He's got a job, family, and then on this side,
He's got a job.
yeah,
This guy's
and
amazing.
a wife
And a wife
with kids.
He likes Star Wars and Legos.
Yes, but he has a minifigure collection that is dynamite. And the pictures that I had didn't do it justice. It was my own fault for not taking them in. But he's got like a den, and it is wall to wall shelves filled with Lego torsos, legs, heads, accessories. It's bananas. I need to go back and take more pictures. But he doesn't have a Twitter or an Instagram, and so he has an Instagram, but it's just like him and his family. There's not a lot.
That's a bunch of crap. Get the good stuff up there.
What a rip!
What a rip.
Dude, put the cool stuff.
Come
Yeah.
on. Where's the minifigs?
But yeah, I've known him since like literal grade school.
Yeah, he's been hiding. He's closet. He's like, oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm totally cool. Got a job. Got a wife.
And I didn't find out about it until I went to our local bricks and minifigure store, our Lego store in town, and he was like, "Oh, do you know Matt?" And I was like, "Matt who?" He's like, well, "I won't say his last name, but
Sure.
I'm like, yeah, I've known him like for 30 years, like maybe more than that, definitely more than like 35 years." And he's like, "Yeah, like that's where I get all my minifigure stuff from." I was like,
he's a provider.
yeah, I was like, no kidding. So anyway, I immediately get a hold of him and was like, "Hey, I need to swing by your house and see what your den is like." And he's like, "Oh yeah, come on over." So I did. It was awesome. And he's lived in town, like I said, known him forever, and he's got this awesome minifigure collection. So anyway, that's his side hustle, and it's impressive. I wish I could post some better.
Everything.
Yeah, I wish I could post some.
Sorry, I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, you don't need to listen to Rick.
Oh, Rook.
You don't need to listen to Rick.
Rook and Titus, folks. Rook and Titus podcast.
Josh, what have you gotten lately?
I was gonna go grab it. I forgot to grab it.
Well, you can if
Do you have like something you can ramble on about? But I got something. I was gonna open it live. I haven't even seen it. I know what it is, but
okay.
what have you got?
Well, I posted. This was a couple weeks ago. I posted on Twitter about it. That there's a story behind it, and you can tell me if you would have done the same thing or if you would have done it differently.
Okay.
But let me throw up.
There it is. There you go.
Let me throw up a different background here for just a second.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I sold some GI Joes to a guy. That I have he's an acquaintance. Lives in Portland, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. In fact, owns a store that sells a lot of Star Wars stuff. But he happens to be a super intense GI Joe collector. Like he said to me that it's possible that he's got the largest private collection of GI Joes in the nation, maybe if not in the world. And that is, I know that might be a boastful claim, but I actually think he might. So I had come across some GI Joe things that still had their boxes, and I knew he was into that. So I phoned him up. I was like, "Hey, I got these things. You interested? Here's how much I'm kind of wanting to get." And he's like, yeah, sure. Let's meet and we'll do it. So went down to meet him, and we got to talking in the parking lot of a Target for about 45 minutes. And through that, he was like, yeah, I keep, I don't have a lot of the Star Wars stuff that I used to collect anymore because I sold it within the last couple of years. The market was pretty good, so I sold off all of my extra stuff, and so I don't have the warehouse that I used to have full of Star Wars vintage stuff anymore. He said, but I do keep about 30 carded figures on hand, just as far as trade goes. Because because I know that is that all. Yeah, because sometimes, and he said this as a collector tip, keep this in mind too. He's like, sometimes to wrestle things out of the hands of people that own things that you want, you have to sweeten the pot. And this is how I sweeten the pot. I've got these carded figures that are in excellent shape that I'll say, okay, well, I'll throw in, this 12-back Obi-Wan. What if I traded you that for this stuff? And then it's like, okay. And now, serious about the trade, you're a serious contender. And so anyway, he's got these, and he made mention that one of his carded figures was a Return of the Jedi carded Boba Fett. Yeah. So I immediately said to him, I said, okay, I want that Boba Fett. Let me see if I can, in the next week or so, come up with something that you would trade me for. And he's like, all right. And so I go home and I start, I went through
cleaning out the kids' closets.
The kids.
You don't need that.
So what you had said earlier, I started like prioritize. Okay, what am I keeping? What's something that I will never get rid of versus things that like, oh, well, maybe I could get rid of that thing. And I went through all of my Star Wars stuff, and I have a display cabinet full of G.I. Joes too, and I know that G.I. Joes are something that he likes. And so in the picture behind me are
Here, I'll go solo for you.
In the picture behind me, this is what I traded him. Okay?
It looks like a lot of stuff.
It is. It's a ton of stuff. But here's the deal, Josh. He didn't have to get rid of it. He wasn't looking to get rid of that figure. Right? As far as he is concerned, it is just a placeholder. Like the guy he got it from was the original owner.
Yeah.
And he was just acting as a placeholder to get it to the second owner.
I see.
Right? He didn't consider himself the owner of this at any time. He was just like a placeholder. And he knew he got it with the intent of getting rid of it.
Right.
But he doesn't have to get rid of it. It's probably worth in the $1,000 to $1,100 range. And I knew that to get it from his hands, I would have to make him a pretty sweet deal. And so, because otherwise, like a one-to-one trade, that's a pretty cool item, right? Even dollars wise, like if I come up with $1,000 worth of stuff to trade him, he's still got the best thing in that trade.
Right.
And dollars it might be even, but cool factor, he's still winning.
Right.
So I need to really set up something that he's going to say like, how can I say no? Right? Make me an offer I can't refuse.
Right.
Like very Godfathery. Go ahead.
So tell me, because for those that aren't watching, because this is out in the pod too. So what's in this picture that's behind you?
Okay, so directly behind me here.
Just explain it. Yeah, you don't
seem a little laggy.
It is very laggy right now, but it's okay.
But
you're echoing really bad, apparently. So.
Oh, really? Right. Anyway, there's about 50 figures of Attack of the Clones that are on the card.
Okay.
And about 40 figures Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
That is up top. Plus that Anakin and Padme display and Obi-Wan display. I threw that in there too. Actually, I think he liked that more than anything.
Yeah.
But over my left shoulder here, there are let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 24 to 30 GI Joe figures that are complete and have their card, their ID card with them, which right now are a pretty hot item to sell. There's some loose instructions to vehicles, not instructions, but blueprints. And then over my left shoulder here are about 20 vehicles. And, altogether, I would probably put a dollar value at that, market value at about $1,600.
Okay.
And I did it in steps. I was like, okay, what if I went GI Joe figures? How much you think? That's probably not. We're not there yet. So what if I went GI Joe figures and vehicles? And he's like, no, that's not gonna. That wasn't enough. Dollars wise, it was maybe close, but he said, nah. And I said, okay, well, what about all the Attack of the Clones figures?
Those were cool figures too.
They're very cool
I remember
figures.
that acquisition.
Yes, and he's like, no, I mean, I have a lot of those. We sell a lot of those at the shop, and we go through them. But I said, okay, well, what about the Revenge of the Sith? I didn't tell him I had all of this all at once. Right? I kept adding, because I wanted to. If I didn't need to get rid of all of that, I didn't want to. This wasn't my all-in first pitch, but eventually, he said, okay, yeah, you bring all that down, let's do it. And I was like, okay. He was getting a lot, and I was getting one thing.
Right.
But the one thing was the coolest thing in that. To me, it was.
Well, and that's what you're talking about. It's like, well, that's what it really comes down to. Is perception is everything when it comes to price. You have all those things. Yeah, you go dollar value them out on an eBay or an offer up, and be like, all right, well, this is worth this amount. It's worth nothing to somebody that doesn't want it, right?
Yeah.
It's $1,500 worth of stuff. It's like, no, it's not. It's $0 worth of stuff because I ain't buying. I think that's the point you're trying to make. It's like, look, you were making a compelling trade for an item whose value to you, you could put a dollar point on it, but it probably exceeded what maybe the market street price was at the time, right?
So to me, Josh, having a carded Boba Fett, whether it's Star Wars Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, is a bucket list item for me.
Of course.
And really, the only thing I bought in that whole thing were the Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones figures.
Right.
Everything else there was purchased by other people for me a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, there was, I gave up a lot. Oh, yeah. I gave up a lot. And as a result, I ended up getting something that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Right? I wouldn't have paid $1,000 to get this.
Right.
But putting all this stuff together, things that I don't deem as necessary for me in my collection, I would do this trade over and over. Because even if I were to sell all that stuff, take all the time to sell everything. So he just joined.
Of course he did. We'll pump this. That's why I put it on. I was waiting for old Flets to show up.
Yeah. So yeah, I even if I would have taken the time to sell everything and gotten maybe even more than I thought I would get for it. Maybe there's more people would have paid more than $1,600 for all of that stuff, but it would have taken me a long time to unload all of that.
Sure. And you pay the 20-30% fees on eBay and shipping and all that stuff. You're done.
Yes. So to me, the value of doing the trade person to person instead of selling it on eBay or whatever was worth the price, the dollar hit for the item that I wouldn't have been able to get otherwise. And to me, again, I would have done it over and over and over. And not everyone would have, I understand. But to me, it was worth it.
Good. Well,
and I couldn't be happier.
I know you couldn't be happier. Did you put it? Don't you have the little image you can put up?
I do. Let me
Put the little image behind you, and then move your big dumb head out of the way so everyone can see it.
Okay, just give me a second here.
There it is. Now move your stupid head.
All right, I'm gonna get out of the way.
Oh, hold on. I'll go solo on you. There you go. Oh, Mike
It's
not included.
beautiful.
Yeah, that is a beaut right there. The original.
Just
Jedi
saying, nobody's touched that figure before. Not since it's been in the package.
That's how Andy goes to bed.
What do you mean?
Thinking about that.
Oh, I thought you said not touching
not
my
being
package.
touched, not being touched. Yeah, there's that. All right, well,
Ouch.
very cool. Congrats.
Oh, feels good, man.
I don't even want to do my thing now.
Oh, no, you got to because I'm
No,
intrigued.
I mean, that's like a powerful story. Mine is just a little, mine was just a little more of a, like a, you got your contact. I have another fellow trader across, a couple states. And he hit me up and was like, hey, I'll give you first dibs before I throw it out into the general marketplace. And I was like, well, what do you got? And so he hit me with a few things. I'm like, I'm not interested in all of that, but I'm kind of interested in one thing. And so we made a price and I got it. So it's still in the box.
Ooh.
We're gonna
do an
we're gonna
unboxing.
get full unboxing plus audio for our pod listeners. So Andy said I should pre-cut it, or pre-cut the tape. There's no tape. There's just going to be
It's just
actual box tearing. Are you ready?
Let's
Here
do
we
it. Let's.
there it is.
do-
Oh,
Oh yes.
there's freaking peanuts in there. Foam peanuts, which is good.
That's good. You need it. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Here it comes. That's good packing, but also terrible to clean up. All right. Okay. There you go. Full peanuts.
We're gonna go full.
All right. I'm just going all in, dumping on the ground here. Oops. There you go. There you go. Just on Josh's lap. It's snowing.
We did get about 4 inches of snow yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Weirdly.
That was just from all my shipments.
That was on Pi Day, no less.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I think I gotta get him. Hold on. I gotta get him out of his.
Yes.
So you keep
Okay.
doing filler talk. I know it's hard for you to talk, Andy, but
I'll try.
you muscle through here.
I'll try.
I'll be damned. Your wife's calling me.
Are you serious?
Did you ignore her call?
No, I don't think so. No,
It's probably your daughter. I mean.
it's definitely Tova.
Okay.
Okay,
Now, he doesn't have a little stand in there, which I'll have to fix.
we'll
but
fix that.
Are you ready?
Let's see it.
So, no, this is an interesting guy.
Okay.
Here he is.
Oh,
Let's get it out of the glare.
that would be a Darth Vader with a coin.
But what's different about him?
The Vader. Well,
Yeah, she found you.
yeah. The coin. The coin is different because that only came with the like the 1984 or what was it, Power of the Force?
Yeah.
But his collar looks nice and popped.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't expect you. I need a little stand for him. I'm getting nervous with him flopping around there. But he actually is missing his paint on his chest plate.
Oh,
He's a variant.
he's unpainted.
He's unpainted.
Oh yeah, I thought okay. From here, it looked like the cape was covering it up, but
No,
that's
he's
just a flat
unpainted. I
black.
got some glare from the window. I'm trying to get out of there, but yeah, he's unpainted.
Interesting.
And he has his full saber, which is cool.
Yeah. So this would be what, like 1984?
I think so. I'll have to look, which I'll do later. But yeah, Darth Vader, Lord of the Sith coin, which I don't know that came with him. It could just be a. I have to look that up, but so he was a cool trade. Jeez, gotta tape the box up too. Jeez, Louise. Yeah,
Good
so,
stuff.
So anyway, there you go. That's what I got. He's a cool. I'm really liking these vintage guys in plastic cases.
Yes.
I think I just need to go buy a bunch of plastic cases, graded or not, because he's not graded,
Yeah.
and just start putting them in there.
He's in
Obviously,
good shape though.
He's in excellent shape. He obviously needs a
Coin looks good too.
little a stand or peg in there to be on. But yeah, So I'm really into the plastic. You can see it behind me, actually. Oh man, I'll get my big head out of the way. Nope. Well, you can see him down in the picture.
The boba?
No, I just have little other graded figures in their cases there. But anyway, there you go. That's what I'm into right now. Anything enclosed in acrylic.
Yeah,
is on my list.
that's pretty cool.
There you go. All right, man. Where are we at? We've talked a lot. Here's the deal. I went into this pod with we've hit like one drop, which I don't care about. I mean, I just miss podding with you, man. I miss being out there.
I know, and
apparently the way I look at you is how Rook would. I look at him the same way.
It's just weird.
With a little bit of. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. No, it's been great to pod again. It feels right. Feels right. Even though, there's a, like I said, there's going to be a lot more podcasts popping up or podcast episodes from people just because people are being encouraged to stay home a little bit more. And, you can only clean so much.
Are you kidding me? I could redo my room every day.
I know. What is hilarious is the day it was announced that school was going to be shut down, because your wife is a teacher.
Yeah.
And my wife works in the school, and I'm a teacher. And anyway, there's a lot of education going on around here, but
not me. Dumb as a rock.
But the day it was announced that Washington schools are going to be closed for 6 weeks, I came over to grab something from you, and your wife was, I think, had the pantry out? Yeah. Cleaning out.
Yeah.
And my wife was doing the exact same thing at our house, and then we're redoing our Star Wars rooms.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't have any time off.
I'm the
one of the four that needs to go to work tomorrow.
Well, it's just right now. It's just regular weekend.
Not that you're not working, but yeah.
Right. It's just regular work weekend right now for us. But like, what's going to happen Monday, Tuesday? That's still going to be determined. But I didn't tell you, Josh, you should redo your room, and you didn't tell me Andy, you need to figure out a way to get those vintage boxes displayed. And so we both of our wives and both of us had the same idea at the same time, which I found very funny.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you get some free time, I think that's not to go off topic too much, but I think that's kind of like we work a lot as Americans. We work.
Some of us do
a lot. Well, I mean, you teachers, you get some
just glorified babysitters.
You guys are just getting the summer bug. You're like, oh man, time to get some stuff done. It's my 3 months off a year.
It's really 2 months, but
yeah. Feels like 3.
It feels like.
All right. Well, Andy, it's been great to get back together with you. I know we have some other topics to talk about, but I think we can
baby steps. Yeah,
baby steps.
We'll have
I can go deep dive on a couple things right now,
and I can't wait for it.
I do want to plug right now because a few things before we get out of here. We had Pete Fletzer from Around the Galaxy join us in the room. Fantastic pod. I just got done listening to his interview with Steele from Steel Wars. I forget his first name.
Steele Saunders.
Steele Saunders, last name, I mean. Which is fascinating. One, because of his Australian or New Zealand accent. Just crazy. It just, I love it. Every time I think I was getting out of my truck while it was still playing, and I heard him say something really funny. I had to go back and listen to it again. So go listen to Around the Galaxy. Steel Wars in particular, that's the one I'm on.
Yeah, because you wanted to talk maybe about one or two things.
I did. They brought us some great topics. And then all our other pod friends out there, we've got WSTR in the house. Yes. Scarif Scuttlebutt was in the house.
Two Med
is in the house. If you want to get into the tank, he'll let anyone into the tank. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
To hell with coronavirus. Get on in. The back to tank takes care of all. I can't even talk because the tank. Who else?
Rook and Titus.
And of course, we have the infamous Rook from Rook and Titus. We just did
a crossover.
A crossover. It was a weird crossover, as in they just came to our studio to record their pod.
And then
it was Star Wars themed.
And then proceeded to disrespect me.
Oh, it was one of the greatest things that's ever been done. I mean,
I'll be honest.
I'm saying,
I laughed.
Hey, guess what?
Good.
When you have your own pod, which you do, you can do whatever the hell you want.
That's true. I mean, I hope it got him some more views.
I That was funny.
That was funny.
I loved it.
Well, since we're plugging things, we do have a couple of collaborations that we will be doing in our near future. We will be talking with Shannon from Postcards from Galaxy's Edge.
Okay.
That'll be towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll get something dialed in with Ro from Scarif. And
Geez.
I know we're gonna get something worked out with him here pretty soon and talk collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do a
That'll be weird.
collector specific.
It'll be weird.
We'll divert from what we normally do.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep an eye out for those.
Yeah.
Pete and I just did a Metachlorians on Friday where we talked about kids in Star Wars.
I haven't listened to that one yet.
It's heavy.
Did it go deep?
Yeah, it's an hour.
Pete won't let me on because he knows that
Once you go deep with Josh.
you'll be wishing you could have gone a little deeper. Kid. I don't even know what I'd do solo with Pete on the pod. That might be like the shortest pod ever done.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll never.
I guess we won't.
Or maybe we will.
Anyway. All right, thanks for listening.
Do we still do our exit song?
Here's the deal, guys. Maybe this is our next poll. Like, we need to change everything about our drops. I mean, the intro song, maybe we should take a vote on the intro song. Like, keep it, ditch it, and come up with something new. I kind of like it too. But everything else, in my opinion,
Change it.
And then, but the only thing, we got the two outro songs. One I loved, and that was Mace Lives.
Mhm.
But obviously, that's a lie. Nobody believes that anymore because we heard his voice in the deep. But the other one is just the Yub Nub.
Yeah, but I don't know if that'll get us kicked.
I think it will every time. Yeah. We'll take a poll on that. I say we go out with Mace Lives.
Okay.
As just a lie.
And
it's original content.
I don't know. No one's ever really gone, Josh.
Thank you.
From a certain point of view.
At Holochronicles on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Instagram also. But yeah.
Good chat. Thanks in the mentions.
We'll
Talk
see you
to you
around.
soon.
We'll see you around.
Mace lives.
This part is over.
What you say, Mace?
Take a seat. Young Scott.
Understand.
For your own good, stay out of this thing.
Oh, yeah, Mace talking big.
If what you told me is true, you will have gained my trust.
Mistrust us.
So long, Holo Chronicle BM Beers.